This is how weak King Charles looks now. I mean, Princess Anne, his sister, has only gone and put the boot in. And so close to when his big day finally arrives. I mean, this is what he was bred for this day to become king. And it's taken decades. He is the longest king in waiting in British history. But for Princess Anne to say this so close to that big day shows really the quite possible disrespect they have for him. So as we all know, Prince Charles has called for a thinned down version of the royal family. He doesn't want too many members of the royal family doing royal duties, in a nutshell. He thinks only the senior royals should be putting themselves out there, etc. Now, Princess Anne was asked about this in a recent interview, and she said, I quote, "It doesn't sound like a good idea from where I'm standing, I would say. I'm not quite sure what else we can do," end quote. Now, this is clearly Anne putting the boot into Charles here. And in public as well. Obviously, the royals criticised each other, because they're family, aren't they, behind closed doors, but never in public. He never heard of a member of the royal family putting the boot into Queen Elizabeth. Not even Prince Philip. He never, ever criticised Her Majesty the Queen. He was like a rock, wasn't he? He was by her side all the time and always supported her. Now, can you imagine if Philip was still alive and this idiot Charles was going to be king? I doubt Philip would be able to keep his mouth shut, to be honest with you. After all, it is a well-known fact that Philip had disdain for Charles, and allegedly at one point years ago called him a weakling, his own son. And I can see where he's coming from, because Charles has always been a bit of a fop, hasn't he? And his reign has really started off in a bad way. He lost his temper during the affirmation when he wanted an inkwell taken off his table so he could sign something. And even his face, he couldn't hold it back, could he? He's got a problem with the old temper, does Charles. He lost his temper again on camera less than 24 hours later when a pen didn't work. None of his sons talked to each other, Meghan Markle's assistant Harry and woke Willie. And that's on top of the drama caused by Meghan and her assistant Harry anyway. And then, of course, there are the royal walkabouts where he's been heckled and had eggs thrown at him. None of this happened during the reign of his mother, Queen Elizabeth. You never ever heard of anyone heckling her, and certainly nobody ever threw anything at her. Apart from that one time when the IRA tried to blow her up during the Trooping of the Colour. I think that was in the 80s. So there we go. King Charles being criticised by his own sister, who in my opinion would make a far better king than he ever would. Because there's no controversies surrounding her. She's no nonsense, doesn't give a shit, and she's all about duty. Plus, she didn't give any of her kids royal titles, unlike Meghan and her assistant Harry. Anne is far more the better man, the better royal, the better professional, and would be a damn sight better monarch than he ever would be. And there we go, that's my opinion, that's my video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Until the next time, Roger Trout.